Okay, today's a beautiful day to do some work in the garden, as you can see. Nice and sunny. Let's get out there. Today's job will be the biggest job for the whole summer. The one I've been talking about for the last couple of months. Let's check it out. It's these guys here. The Jonathan and Granny Smith apple trees. Yep, big job. Here I have it on wide angle, extra wide angle lens, so you can see the scope of the operation. This is the avocado tree, the Hass, and these are the two apple trees. This will take about, I did it last year. You can check the video from last year. I think it took me 2 hours, I don't remember. Between 1 and 2 hours. Let's get started. So basically we need a ladder and these guys here. Lopers, shears, and extendable lopers. And we start with the kiwi fruit. See the kiwi fruit vine here? It's attached itself to the apple trees. So I've got to go through and cut all these. Got to do that first. So we only got one kiwi this year, which is a bit of a bummer. Yeah. Anyway, let's get started with cutting all the kiwi vine shoots that have wrapped themselves around the apple tree. Apple trees. We're doing 2 trees, guys. 1, 2. And these apple trees are 20 years old. So as you can see, the kiwi cuttings, kiwi branches, shoots, whatever you want to call them, these are all young, that just came up over summer. Unfortunately, I can't let these grow wild because they interfere with my neighbor. So that's why I'm not getting any kiwi fruit, you know. So what I'm doing here is I'm cutting off next year's fruiting stems. So when you remove these, you're guaranteed of no fruit next year. That's why I'm not getting any fruit on the kiwi, because the fruit comes on the new, these here, on the new stems. So anyway, I got rid of all of them here that were attached to our apple trees, and the ones that are attached to his apple trees, well, he can cut them. I'll show you. See all those ones there? I can't reach those. The parrots have annihilated all the apples on both these apple trees, as they do every summer. So now it's my turn. Well, either to leave our apples to go to the parrots. They started biting them in the last week. Every morning I find them on the ground, half damaged and just sitting on the ground. Or just trim all this back and cover it with a net, which I've been doing every year for the last 6-7 years. All right. Okay, these are our apples. I put these under the cherry moya tree to attract fruit fly. Fruit fly is one way I attract pollinators to the cherry moya and custard apple. And I use what the parrots have done. So what the parrots have done, I take advantage of. You can see all the fruit flies here. There's millions of them. They're very small to capture on camera though. So that's what's going to become of my apple trees. if I don't put netting on them. Guaranteed. 1 year I thought, oh, I'll just let it go. And they ate every single apple. They ate about 300 apples. How's that? And we only got like 10. So now I'm going to go around with the same scissors, shears, and start pruning down here at the lower level. The branches that are sticking out. These branches here. Right? These here. Like a fine trim at the lower level. All the way down with these. Right? And once I've done the bottom, or the bottom half of the tree, then I get on the ladder and do the same up there. But up there, you need more than just this. You need the extendable, because this is really short. You need the extendable. This guy here, to reach. That's like having six foot long arms. So 20 minutes later, we've completed phase 1, the lower level branches of the 2 apple trees. That's easy. That was the easiest part of the whole job. Okay, you can see the apples now too. I uncovered them. They were well hidden with these outer cuttings I just brought down. I estimate about 300, maybe more. It's hard to count green on green, but it's, one thing's for sure, it's a lot of apples. And we've lost about 100, believe it or not, already. Before we had our first. We haven't had one apple yet, and the parrots have eaten at least 100. I think that's more than enough for them. So, phase 2 next. Phase 2 is getting onto this ladder, and this is the hardest part. Reaching out with this guy, this long guy, and reaching those branches up there. Yeah, I tell you what, it's more demanding than anything you'll find in a gym work. This is a free gym here, so that'll take me about an hour, because I can only go slow, guys. I can't go as fast as, let's say, a 20-year-old guy. This is where it's at only the 20% mark. Just started hacking into it, and you'll see here that where the shears are is the height we want, and we want to get rid of those. So I've been hacking in there with the shears together with the extendable lopers, these ones here, and yeah, it's basically another butchering, like the lemon tree, the mandarin tree. Look, they're hanging on the clothesline. When I cut them, they just go flying up in the air and doing somersaults. So, and we have a fully sunny day today, around 24 Celsius, around 76 Fahrenheit. So it's the best day to do this, because tomorrow we're going to have 31 Celsius. That's around 90. So we don't want to do it when it's 90. It's better to do it when it's in the 70s. So just giving you a look at what we're dealing with. Look at all the apples now. You can see every one of them. Now you can count the apples. Forget about counting them when they're in the tree like that. Okay, that's the next apple tree, the Jonathan. You can't even see the apples too well, but when it's pruned, you sure can, and so can the parrots. So that's where we're up to. Put on the wide lens. That's where we're up to, and we've got to get these guys next. 4 meters. we want to bring the 4 meters down to 2.5 meters. All right, now we're at about 85–90% of the job on the first apple tree, guys. Remember, I'm doing 2 apple trees. This is the Granny Smith. Check out all the cuttings. Look at this. Huh? This is where I get my mulch from, as I keep saying. From these guys. So I've just come up to the 1 hour mark and I'm not even finished with the first tree. So yeah, I think this is more like a 2 hour or 2.5 hour job. So I'm enjoying the suntan, getting the vitamin D. And if you guys are still not aware of the benefits of sunshine, Google it rather than listening to the mainstream, which tells you to avoid the sun or to slip, slop, slap. Garbage. Garbage, man. That's so garbage. The same people who say to you slip, slop, slap are the same people that say to you eating in moderation is the best. You know, meat, dairy and eggs. More garbage. Okay, so I'm going to finish off this Granny Smith and then move to the Jonathan. Alright guys, we have finished the first tree. It took 1 hour and 20 and I haven't put the net on yet. So a rough guess would be 1.5 hours per tree. So this is a 3-hour job. I think every year it takes me a little longer because I'm getting older. That just makes sense, right? So plus I'm taking a lot more breaks. In the good old days I used to go right through without stopping. Now I'm taking like 5 or 6 breaks. So I think the idea now is to replace these full-size apple trees and full-size apricot and full-size lemon with dwarfs. But I gotta get the trees first and have them growing in a pot. So after a couple of years they're ready to go in the ground. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna end up doing, because I can't be doing this into my 60s. In my 30s I was doing it without a sweat. In my 40s, well, it was getting a little slow, and now in my 50s it's like, whoa, this is a lot of work. So as a heads up to any of you in your 30s or 40s getting started, please go with dwarf trees. Dwarf everything, unless of course you don't mind the birds eating all your fruit. Then you don't need to do what I've just done. Just let them go. Let everything go wild, and you can get the scraps. The birds get the first choice, and you get the scraps. So these are the apples that fell during the pruning of one tree. There's no perfect job. You do the best you can, and these fell with branches. Okay, guys, I'm going to finish off the second tree and then put netting on. Thanks for watching.